Honor is something we all must earn.
Mako? Is that you?
No, this is Mako. Honor is something we all must earn.
Ah, hey. Uncle Iro, I missed you.
Oh, don't we?
Wait. Doesn't that make me Dante Bosco? Honor. That's rough, buddy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's rough.
Okay,
dude.
so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. Actually,
enough Avatar jokes. All right.
No, actually, there was that one episode I watched of Avatar. I did not know Mako had died.
Mm-hmm.
And it was right. It was when Iroh was honoring the death of his son.
Yep.
He was at the tree, and he offered the tea, and he started singing that song, and I'm like, oh, Iroh, and then it goes sepia tone, and it says in loving memory of Mako, and I'm like,
and you're like, wait, what?
No,
not like this.
No. I was just like, God, no. Jeez, I just.
Well, now that I've brought back all the sad memories of Mako's death,
no. Anyway, the reason why we were doing the honor thing is because of the For Honor song that we are about to watch by Miracle of Sound. It's called We Are War. Now, okay, I've played a lot of For Honor. Well, not a lot. I've almost maxed out one character.
Yeah, Nate's been playing For Honor a fair bit.
Yeah, I've been playing a fair bit of For Honor. And my favorite character to play as is Orochi. It's because, to me, he's a good mix of speed and strength, and he's also a really good counterattacker. I've had some very good games with him. Truth is, I think people are learning how to play against my style of Orochi, because I'm mostly a counterattacker and a shield breaker. Because once I do a shield break on them, I usually do the combo. I've actually figured out how to do a combo where I can actually rush into somebody, deflect their attack, and then spin, and then do a spinning attack and cut their cut their midsection.
Nice.
It's just like rush in, deflect, and then spin, and then it actually does half health bar of damage to most characters. Only ones that don't are the tanks.
But you've got to have different tactics on the tanks anyway.
Yeah, which honestly, I use my speed against the tanks.
You got to hit and run tactics.
Yeah, well, I usually do the evade to the side. But then here's the thing: whenever you're on a battlefield and it's one-on-one, I can pretty much almost beat anybody. There's a few characters that I have trouble with. A good Viking berserker is hard to counter sometimes. It's hard to counter strike against sometimes because of just the unpredictable nature of some of their attacks. But then an Orochi mirror matches. Woo! Some of those guys are good. There's one guy I ran into. He landed a 5. I was gonna say, I thought I was blocking the entire time, but I found out that if you hit the strikes just right, they're unblockable. Oh, I'm like, whoa, what? It's like what he did was I would go for a shield break, and he'd spin around, and then he'd do a strike, and I'd have the stick over, but it wouldn't be enough, and I'm like, crap. And you have to figure out new tactics and ways to fight these guys, which I eventually did, and he beat me 3 times, but I got back at him once, and he never executed me. That's the thing. I think here's how it works. In order to do an execution, a permadeath on the battlefield that you'll have to wait the full amount of time allotted to respawn. You have to finish their health bar with a heavy attack. Yeah. He never finished me with a heavy attack. It was always light attacks. And I finished him with a heavy attack, and I executed him. And you see, that's one thing about the game. If you execute them on the battlefield, they can't be revived, and thus they can't just come right back into the middle of the battle. Which honestly, there was one game, dude. It was how Dominion. How it works is first team to 1,000 points. has to kill off the other team. Has to kill off the
right,
other team.
Yeah, I think I watched you play some of that.
Yeah, and there was one game, it was pretty much 1,000 points to 1,000 points.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, and actually, you.
Oh no! I'm thinking of a different one.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no. You were here for one where it was like that.
Oh yeah,
and we won. We won actually very convincingly. All 4 of us were still alive, where all the other team died.
Right.
But it was 4-on-2. It was 4-on-2, and here's the thing: two of our guys were not executed. Our 2 guys weren't executed. So I started looking for where they were, and I ran over, and I found one, and I get over there, and here comes and all of a sudden here comes a Viking a Viking vanguard, and he tries to knock me off the edge and everything. I'm right at the edge, and he tries to run into me again, shield break me and kick me back.
Mm-hmm.
But then all of a sudden I spin around and I shield break into him. And here's the thing: I have my armor modified to where I have a very good throw. Yep. And I throw him off the side.
Nice.
And I revive my one guy over there, and it's 3-on-3 again. And it's 3-on-3, and I'm like, all right, here we go. And that guy can't be revived either because he went off the edge.
Yep.
And it's just like, all right, here we go. And we go in, and it's 3v3 at point B, which is the middle battleground.
Mm-hmm.
And we each take someone. I get downed, unfortunately. I get downed, but then one guy finishes off his, comes over and revives me real quick. He has very quick revive.
Yep.
And I go back over and I find the guy who killed me. I come up behind and I shield break into them, and I decide to have an honorable duel, and I actually had game chat on, so I told the guy he's mine, let me have him. And we duel again, and I beat him.
Nice.
I beat him the second time. I'm like, yes. And then we let the third guy finish his, and then we won. And I was like, yeah, feels good. And you see, this game is so good with making you feel like you've accomplished it, because you have to learn how to fight.
Oh yeah.
You have to learn how to fight, and you have to come up with your own techniques to fight people. And there's people who cheese. I've ran into. Yeah, as I call them, the Spear Sisters, which it's usually 2 people who team up, and they're the Viking spear women with spears.
Spear maidens?
Yeah, spear maidens, I think. And they come up, they have their shield, and what they do is they double team. They often double team. They're never caught separate. I mean, honestly, you have to pretty much go 3-on-1, and hell, sometimes 3-on-1s isn't enough against them, because their attacks are just so sporadic and all over the place that they kill people with just their they can go 3-on-1 and handle themselves. I remember one game I was up against them, and we took down one of them, but then the other one just kept running around, and we tried to trap her and tried to get her, and she kept escaping. I'm like, crap. And then all of a sudden the other one respawns,
the other one, and
she
it's
comes
just like,
back,
all right,
combos all over again. Ah, gosh,
man.
But
anyway, we should get into
this.
music. The
For Honor, We Are War, Miracle of Sound. Here we go. Let's see what they got to say.
Yep.
Vikings, Samurai, and Knights. 3 of history's greatest warring factions.
Yep.
I wonder who would actually win.
It's one of life's great mysteries, isn't it?
Wait, what? No, I mean, how do we get into this box canyon?
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. never changes.
It's true. The armor detailing they've done is really great.
Oh yeah, that's one thing Ubisoft has paid attention to in this. That's just tremendous. As the greater detail that they went into with the art, with the designs and everything. Now, as Micah said, they're a little superficial with their weapons. But
well, yeah. But one of the things that I love was the one of the knights had the helmet with the hood on over it.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite looks of all time.
Yeah, you see, duels like that, one-on-one duels,
yeah,
I love those.
I've got a serious soft spot for crazy armor designs.
Yeah. Well, you can buy. Well, I was gonna say, whenever you get high enough reputation, you can get like crazy armor.
I believe it. Oh yeah, and then like the classic paladin helmet with the wings on it.
Yeah.
Man. That was cool.
Yeah. Oh god.
Miracle of Sound once again knocking it out of the park.
Well, yeah. Once again, killing it. So, the warring factions in this. Okay. Originally, I complained about samurai, being a little unmanned, with in the online world. Because from everywhere I looked, the samurai territory was only getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and I was just like, oh come on, guys, samurai are cool. You have to sign up for them. Next thing you know,
everybody.
I look, and I'm like, oh gosh, how much ground did we lose today? And we didn't just gain back all of our territory. We took at least 2 deep into the other territories. As a matter of fact, when I was last there, we were at the door of the Knights' stronghold on the southwest border.
No way.
And I was just like, oh gosh, we're almost there. And one more push, men, for honor.
Yeah, and it's just like. And that's the thing, is you've got the hype of the individual battles, but you've also got the hype of how is my team doing.
Yeah. And you see that's one thing that they've done with this game that just feels so good. It feels so good to know that your team is doing well and know that the war assets that you bring to the table help that war effort. I mean, they've done really good with this. And, okay, if there's one weak point of this game that I can really point to, for me, personally, it's the single-player story. And, the fact that they included a single-player story, to me, is good, but the story is not as compelling. You see what they do is they actually put you in as a character. Like, for instance, in the Knights story, in the Knights storyline, you play as the warden. You play as a warden. A warden is the basic starter for knights. Mm-hmm. He's big, he's tough, he's got a little bit of speed, but he's mostly more tank than he is speed.
Yeah.
Anyway, what they do is they drop you into battle scenarios, and you have to score reputation points in order to progress to the next level. In order to progress to the next level, and you have to look at it's points of interest. You have to look at points of interest to gain points. You have to do well in terms of battle, and it's interesting. But overall, to me, it still feels empty because we personally do not get to know any of these characters. They're just known as the Warden.
Yeah, I mean, none of these characters are necessarily given a backstory.
Yeah, you're pretty much thrown in. You're just like, you're a mercenary in the battlefield. It's just like, you know who else was a mercenary in the battlefield but yet had a lot of backstory? Guts.
Yeah.
Guts was a mercenary in the battlefield, and you could have made him a clean, a cardboard cutout of a, it's like, a mercenary thrown into the wrong circumstances.
Yeah.
But no, actually getting to know the person behind the helmet, and who wields the sword.
I mean, hell, you know who's a mercenary on the field of battle, but yet you get to know all about him? Every character in TF2.
Yeah, every character in TF2. They're given a deep, rich backstory.
Oh yeah.
And I think they can do that with For Honor. If they would have done that with, and you know who else? Overwatch.
Oh yeah.
Overwatch. The backstory.
Everybody in Overwatch has got so much lore behind them.
Yeah, and that's what you need for this. You need the lore in order to really hook people in. I mean, honestly, Orochi, I want to know, what is Orochi's, what was
you want to know about that guy.
Yeah, I want to know about Orochi. I want to know what his family was like. Was his father, on the battlefield, or was his father a fisherman and, did not approve of his son becoming a samurai? I mean, honestly, those things matter. The little smaller details, they matter.
I mean, that's what really brings in the immersion in the game.
Yeah. And you see, you have killer gameplay, which they do. They have really good gameplay. They figured out how to make competitive, competitive sword and board gameplay.
I mean, like, when I was watching it, I was sitting there going, this is Dynasty Warrior Dark Souls.
Yeah, it pretty much is.
Is what it feels like to me.
It pretty much is. And they do, and it does really, and it handles really well. It's just where they fell short was in terms of the lore building. Now you have a big interesting world.
Yeah.
You have the Vale that has the samurai. You have I think it was I forget the name of the Valheim, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
You have Valheim, which is home to the Vikings, and then you have the West. So you have the West that's controlled by the Knights, the East is controlled by the Samurai, and you have the North that's controlled by the Vikings. Now, all three of these factions have been fighting each other for a long time.
I guess the problem that you run into is, and this might be the reason that they didn't get too heavy into the lore, how do you set it up such that you get these three completely distinct and separate national groups coexisting in such a small area? Because you've got to have huge natural boundaries. Like, you have to have walls.
Well, yeah, they do
to counter the exchange of culture.
You do. Well, in the game there are three basic barriers.
Mm-hmm.
The Knights have the mountains,
right?
On both sides. The Knights have the mountains on both sides to protect them from both the Vikings and the Samurai. Now, the barrier between the Viking and the Samurai is actually a very large river, a very huge raging river. And in order for one culture to have exchange with the other, they have to cross that. And honestly, the how they've drawn out the map is really good. But in all honesty, what you need if you really want to I think if you want to move the story forward, you have to have coexisting factions, like splinter groups of the Vikings and the Samurai that wish to work together with the other kingdoms. And you have that type of infighting as well. Because that's really the only way you can really legitimize a mixed battlefield like what you experience in multiplayer.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like, it's not just, oh, hey, it's going to be a bunch of knights fighting a bunch of samurai. No, it's everybody's playing the class they want and going from there.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, suspension of disbelief is one thing, but then you're sitting there going, well, how are all these people getting together? And then you start asking the lore question, and there's not an answer right now.
Yeah.
Which, explains, I guess, the fact that they don't really have an answer for that explains why the single player's kind of weak. Is like you're thrown into battle situations because they don't necessarily have a story.
Yeah, imagine this. Imagine like some of the in between, some of the other classes that are in some cases seen as a mix of both Viking and samurai. How can or of knight and samurai or knight and Viking? How can those classes? Those classes could be in the splinter group, raised amongst both cultures.
Yeah, sort of in the middle, like in the border area.
Yeah, in the border areas where the splinter groups are born, and
oh yeah,
and the Vikings can come down hard on the ones on the one side of the river, and the Viking lords can come down,
and the samurai lords can come down on the other side.
Yeah, and you see that's how you build good conflict in the game. And your faction can actually, your independent faction can actually build up war assets and wage war on either the Vikings or the samurai, depending on which side you wish to go after first. And you see that there's a lot of ways they can go with this. I'll be interested to see where they go with For Honor from here.
Yeah, because I mean the game is still developing.
Oh yeah. Well, they still have they've built a great foundation with this game.
Yeah, I mean the gameplay is solid, but now they can, once they get the gameplay set, then they can focus on the lore and build that up if they so choose, which they may not.
Yeah, they may very well just be happy with what they got and just say, "Well, we've done enough. We'll lay back and we'll."
I mean, honestly, if you guys want to get the lore figured out, just go hire some people who play D&D a lot.
Yeah, there you go.
Because that's the whole thing. It's like, all right, so how do we make this work?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and I was gonna say
one man's opinion.
Well, I was gonna say, why not for single player? Why not do character creation where, you can choose, your lineage?
I could get behind that.
You can choose your lineage. Like, you have a Viking father and a samurai mother. Like
Micah.
Lore, like the lore we built for Micah.
Like the lore that Micah built for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, Viking father and a samurai mother. And you inhibit both styles. Like, you inhibit both styles. Yeah, you inherit both styles. Sorry.
Right.
You inherit both styles, and you get the counterattacking nature of your mother's side, and you get the brutal rush of the father's side. I mean, that to me that's where they should go next.
That could be pretty sweet.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And heck for the third game, why not have like a foreign, like a completely foreign enemy that you have to fight, like a completely foreign enemy that's something else, like I don't know, like I know, like
Persians is where I was going. Yeah,
like the Persians.
I was going something Middle Eastern. Yeah,
draw something from the Persians. The horde of the Persian the Persian scourge when they tried to take over the world, pretty much.
Yeah,
of course.
I mean, just the Huns.
Yeah, the Huns. Yeah, that's another one.
The Huns. There you go.
Or wait for it, the Mongols.
There you go.
Yep.
Anyway.
Sorry. Okay, but yeah, this was the For Honor song, "We Are War" by Miracle of Sound. Did tremendous work on,
excellent.
On conveying everything, and once again, hey, if you all want to check out Miracle of Sound, feel free to in the description down below. There's a link to the original video. Show them some love.
That man does good work.
Does really good work.
Yep.
Also, if you wish to check out some more of our stuff, well, we have merchandise if you wish to check that out. We even have a new shirt The video starts at blank shirt.
I got to see that shirt.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have to show me that shirt.
Actually, you know what?
Show me the shirt.
Yeah. Okay. I'll show you the shirt.
Show me the shirt.
I'll show you the shirt. You want to see the shirt?
Give me the shirt. I want to see the shirt.
Okay. Here we go. And down right the bubble.
Yup.
And
there we go. Video starts. Yes. Yes.
that's it right there.
That's perfect.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll let you all see it.
Oh,
Boom!
yeah.
There it is. Video starts at blank.
Video starts at blank.
Yeah.
Dang it, Caleb.
So you can write in whatever the hell you want. Video starts at, heck, you can write in video starts at Caleb.
Video starts at Caleb. Yep. There you go.
You can write in video starts at 0.00.
Yep.
Or 0, video starts at 0.
Video starts at Micah hating Jean.
Oh.
And on that bombshell, it's time to end. Thank you very much for watching. Good night.
Good night.